What's up with y'all? We here again for another episode of the RiSSky Powerhouse. It's been a little minute since I seen y'all, man. I miss y'all. Hope y'all miss your boy. We back with more action. NBA been jumping. A lot of things been going on. All-Star votes going. I hope y'all putting in y'all All-Star ballots, submitting all y'all favorite players on Twitter and all of those things. Check out the RiSSky Powerhouse Twitter. I'm dropping live game updates, All-Star ballots, all types of everything. So y'all going to retweet those tweets, comment under them, get that activity going. But yeah, man. So this week, your boy Kyrie came back for Brooklyn, right? And it was highly anticipated, as it should be. Highly anticipated return. Kyrie back in Brooklyn, haven't played all year. Obviously, the COVID vaccine mandate in New York withheld him from being able to participate in his job without the vaccine, and that held him out of the game, out of most of the games in the first 35 to 40 games. So he comes back, have a great game against Indiana. He gets off slow, gets going. He gets going slow off the start. Then throughout the course of the game, he started to come alive. When Kyrie get in the open court, he's dancing. You already know. In and out, spin moves between the legs, finishing both hands, jump shots. He started to get to that 10-footer. Down the stretch in the fourth quarter, he actually scored 10 points in the Brooklyn Nets comeback for them to win the game. So shout out to Kyrie. Shout out to Kyrie. KD was KD doing his thing. You know what I mean? But if you watch that game, I watched every second of that game because obviously it was highly anticipated. Kyrie Irving coming back. You got Harden out there. Kevin Durant, MVP favorite. Let's get it. And I expected the Nets to steamroll the Indiana Pacers because the Indiana Pacers been struggling all year. Haven't consistently got a lineup out there. Brogdon out, Duarte out, all these different pieces. Everybody on the trade block. So it seems like it's no stability right now. New coach, Rick Carlisle. They moving in another direction. They're trying to actually find their direction. You feel me? So for the Brooklyn Nets to be down 20 in the first half against the Indiana Pacers was kind of alarming. I'm watching this game. I'm blowing up the chat. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Now down the stretch, Brooklyn started to walk them down in the third quarter, cut the game, under 10. Then in the fourth quarter, the offense started to get going. Indiana get cold. Brooklyn getting stops. They hustling out there. They playing with energy. Because they trying to fight and win. And they end up pulling the game out. I got a couple of notes from this game. And what I got from this game is the Brooklyn Nets, no matter what, they still need KD to do everything. Why do Kevin Durant have to do everything for them to have a chance to win games? Kevin Durant had 39 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists in a comeback win over the Pacers. And they had to come back from down 20. We understand the offensive firepower that they have. We understand the veterans that they have, and LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, the intangibles players that they have, and Bembry, Patty Mills shooting the lights out, Bruce Brown, mini power forward, getting rebounds, hustling, diving for the ball, defending, and all of those things. But it just seems like no matter what, Kevin Durant have to get 35 on 50% from the field, 40% from three, 85 from the free throw for them to have a chance to win games. And when the Nets traded Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, 4 first-round picks and 4 first-round pick swaps, they were not trading for James Harden that's averaging 22 points, 9.5 assists, and 8 rebounds with a 21 PER. That's the lowest PER in James Harden's career since he was coming off the bench in OKC, where he was a 21.1 PER. Can we get an explanation for this? Can we get some media on this, please? What's going on? Why is James Harden struggling to score the ball when he's supposed to be a lights-out scorer? That's what James Harden is. Quote-unquote, one of the most dynamic offensive weapons the league has ever seen. He's struggling to score. Struggling. If you watch the Brooklyn Nets, James Harden is not an automatic bucket. He's not. And it's very easy to stop him. Very easy to stop him. If you force James Harden to play one-on-one, don't send no double at him. Send a double at KD. James Harden is turning the ball over more than anybody else in the league per game. James Harden is struggling to be efficient from the floor. I'm going to read y'all James Harden progressions throughout the course of this season. And I want y'all to tell me if this is an elite bucket. 39.8% from the field for the first month, averaging 18.5 points, 8 assists. 42.4% from the field, 22 points, 9.5 assists. That's the month of December. January, 41.9% from the field, 26 points per game. Right? Take that back. That was December. Take that back. That was December where he averaged 26 points, 11 assists, and 41.9% from the field. The month of January thus far, they've played 5 games, and James Harden is shooting 39% from the field, 24% from 3, averaging 21.8 points and 4 turnovers a game. Now, thank God he's only averaging 4 turnovers because he's been averaging over 5 turnovers all year. He's leading the league in turnovers. What I'm getting at right now with all of these factors is, first of all, the Nets need Kyrie. They need Kyrie. And there is a question, is James Harden still the best shooting guard in basketball? Is he? Because he is not undoubted anymore. At first, it was undoubted that James Harden was the best shooting guard. No question. Even last season. But this season, James Harden is struggling to score, turning the ball over. And every single game the Nets play, it seems like the other team gets more field goal attempts than the Nets get. And that's because James Harden turnovers and he's the primary ball handler. He still has the ball in his hands more than anybody else on the floor. He's still playing 40 plus minutes per game. But the difference is, it was one point in time where James Harden was playing 40 minutes a game, and he was averaging 31, 32 points per game, 7, 8, 9 assists, 7, 8, 9 rebounds, 45% from the field, 37% from 3, and shooting a truckload of free throws. Leading the league in free throw attempts for the last 6 or 7 straight years before he came to Brooklyn. Let's look at his free throw attempt progressions throughout the course of the season. October, he was only taking 5.3 free throws a game, 18 points. The next month, 7.8 free throws, 90%, 22 points. 10.8 free throws in the month of December at 83%, gets him 26 points per game. This month, the month of January, he's shooting 9 free throw attempts at 86%, and he's south of 22 points a game. He's at 21.8. James Harden, high-level dominance is depicted upon free throw attempts. That's why when they changed this rule, he's one of the most highly effective players. Him and Luka Doncic. Their numbers aren't as polarizing as they were the last 2 or 3 years. And it's because that if they don't get those free throw attempts, they're so inefficient from the field, it don't level out their true shooting percentage because they need a high volume to level out the volume of shots that they're taking. If you're taking 18 field goal attempts and 10 threes, you're taking the 10 threes at 34%. You're taking the 18 field goals at 42%. If you take 13 free throw attempts at 85%, that's leveling out your shot chart. That's giving you 12 free points. James Harden, man, you got to get it together, bro. The Brooklyn Nets without Kyrie Irving need James Harden to average 25 points and 10 assists, 8 rebounds or so, and I'm actually going to commend him on his defense. He's actually playing pretty good defense, but everything else has been lackluster, bro. It's been average. It's been average. James Harden should not be an all-star starter this year, and that's what James Harden is supposed to be. Look at the package that the Nets gave up. Look at what Jared Allen doing in Cleveland right now, winning games. Caris LeVert, hey, they made the right move on that. They made the right move because Caris haven't exploded like most people thought he would. But when you think about the situation that Caris went to with Sabonis, with Malcolm Brogdon getting 20, with Miles Turner being a vet, you know, there's really nowhere for him to go and chase 20 points a game, really. But when you look at all of the picks, all of the players that's producing elsewhere, and you look at Spencer Dinwiddie in Washington, look at, you know what I mean? They gave up a lot for Harden, and Harden got to fill that cup. All of what they gave up Harden had to fill that cup for them to be a better team than what they gave up. Kyrie, they need you, bro. They went on to play the Milwaukee Bucks a couple of days later. Dog, no Drew Holiday, no Kyrie. In Brooklyn. The Bucks opened up the game 29 points to 21 points. It was defense, heavy defense, you know. Guys was getting after it. Great. It was a great game. If you watch that Milwaukee versus Brooklyn game, it was a great game in Milwaukee. You could tell the players understand the magnitude of the situation in terms of when there's a marquee matchup and you have to come out ready to fight. Players understand. Okay, yeah, this Kevin Durant across the court. You know, this Giannis across the court. We need to have our best game today. You get what I mean? So those players came out defending. The first half, KD did everything for the Brooklyn Nets, bro. KD did everything. 19 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, had a block or steal. You know what I mean? But with no Kyrie Irving, James Harden did nothing. Nothing. 2 for 10 field goals, 2 turnovers, and they were down. The Brooklyn Nets supposed to be as dominant as the Phoenix Suns right now. The Brooklyn Nets supposed to be as dominant as the Golden State Warriors in the earlier stages of the year. And early they were winning games at that clip. But Kevin Durant was playing out his mind for the first 15 games. Kevin Durant was averaging 32 points, close to 50, 40, 90. Once Kevin starts to come down, which he's still playing at a high level, but once he starts to come down, you know, to 29.5 points, you know, he's starting to hit the grind of the season. He can't do everything for 82 games. He can't average 35, 50, 40, 90, 8 or 9 rebounds, a steal and a half, a block and a half, 6 assists. He can't lead the team. He can't do everything for them to win games, competitive games. I seen a stat on Twitter. It said the Brooklyn Nets are 0-8 versus top 3 seeded teams. 0-8, Chicago, Golden State, the Suns. 0-8, the Bucks. Come on, 10-11 against 500 teams. Come on, y'all got to be better. Y'all can't just pick up wins over the Houston Rockets and the OKC Thunder and the Orlando Magic and think people not gonna dig deep into y'all season. Y'all are the marquee team of the Eastern Conference. Like, come on, let's get it. I'm going, like, if y'all wondering what I'm looking for, I'm going to that game, that Milwaukee game, because I watched that game Friday night, and it was a great game, bro. But I'm just disappointed that Kevin Durant, they got blew out, and Kevin had such a great game. When you look at the first half, Kevin had 19 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists and a steal on 6 for 11 shooting. Harden, 2 for 10, 2 for 2 free throws, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers. What is Kevin Durant going to do with that? What can he possibly do with that? They're down at the half. They were down 60 to 49, 11-point game. Still striking distance, but Milwaukee's a team to be reckoned with. That's the reason why it was a competitive game. You know, you came back against Indiana, but you couldn't come back against Milwaukee because they got Giannis. They have a higher floor. They have a higher level team when they're on the floor than the Indiana Pacers. Indiana gave up that 20-point lead. Milwaukee, 38 points in the third quarter. Giannis, 4 for 6 field goals, 11 points in the third quarter. Kevin, Harden came alive in the third, 10 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 4 for 5 shooting. But it wasn't enough. They were already down. And Milwaukee pushed it to 20. Giannis only played 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. That lets you know what type of game it was. Harden, 0 points in the fourth quarter, 2 assists, a turnover. He's going to turn that ball over every single quarter, bro. And that's a shame, bro. Shout out to Milwaukee on getting a high-level win. I watched them play Charlotte last night. They just couldn't get it going. Charlotte was outrunning them. But the game against Brooklyn is nothing short of disappointing with the season that's Harden been having so far for the Brooklyn Nets, bro. You know what I mean? And Harden, in my opinion, he haven't been that guy this year, bro. He's not an MVP candidate. He's barely an all-star. He's going to get an all-star team because 22. When you just look at his raw numbers, 22, 9, and 8 is great. I'm comparing him to himself. I'm gonna say that again. I'm comparing him to himself, to his standard of play. I'm not comparing him to Zach LaVine. I'm not comparing him to DeRozan. These guys having great seasons, but overall, the totality of the player, it shouldn't be a conversation, bro. Shouldn't be close. James Harden, you got to do more if the Brooklyn Nets want to win games, and that's just how I feel about that. So I mean, if y'all think James Harden is having a great season, if y'all think something wrong with what I said, leave comments below. Y'all think Brooklyn still geared for a championship with Kyrie playing half the games? Every game at home, Kyrie can't play. So every home game, KD and Harden have to be MVP level players at the same time for them to win at a high level. So if y'all think anything I said is wrong, if y'all think anything I said is foolish, drop comments, let me know how y'all feel. I think the Brooklyn Nets are exciting with Kyrie on the floor. I seen them out there on last Wednesday. It was crazy. So I'm looking forward to this game against Portland. Kyrie should be out there versus Dame. They're playing in Portland. So shout out to that game. I think that's Monday night. Looking forward to that. Y'all drop comments, leave a like if y'all made it this far. If y'all new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I drop more content. We out of here. Y'all will see me later. It's the RiSSky Powerhouse. We out of here.